everybody, how's it going? Dan Shinder here on Drum Talk TV, coming to you from Globe, Arizona, 100 miles east of Phoenix, way up in the mountains. And my guest today is Dominic McNabb from Victoria, South Africa. Folks, tell us where you're watching from. Even though this is a pre-recorded interview, we'd love to see where you're watching from. Dominic, how are you, buddy?
I'm fine, thanks, and you, Uncle Dan?
I'm so happy to see you. Thanks for taking time out on your Saturday. And for those 5 people who might not know, Dominic is the winner of the Hudson Music Tommy Igo Groovy Central's 15-year anniversary competition. That's a mouthful. I'm surprised I got it right. And Dominic won the 12 to 19-year-old category. And before we show you some of his piece, Dominic, I want to ask you first, why did you choose that piece of music? What was it about that piece? And did you try a few and then decide to do that one? Or did you just know right off the bat that that's the one you wanted to use?
I listened to about 3 of the tracks, and then I found that track in between the 3. And I just knew on the spot I wanted to do that track because that track sounded very musical, and there was a lot to do in the track, and also it's in 7/8, and I love all of the sevens, so that was basically the perfect track to play.
Oh, that's great. Well, I'll ask you more about it, and of course we'll talk about influences and drumming and stuff, but let's show the audience a nice big excerpt of your winning clip. Folks, check this out, and I'm just curious, what were all of you doing at 12 years old? Here we go! Dominic, when did you start playing?
I started playing drums when I was 2 years old.
When you were 2? Wow. I was still pooping in my pants when I was... Actually, sometimes I still do it. Wow, when you were 2 years old. And when did you start playing odd times like 7, 8, and things like that? When did you start doing that?
I started doing that around like 2018, and then I started getting more into learning about time signatures and having fun with time signatures. So yeah, it's about 2018.
And so in 2018, that was 3 years ago as this is being recorded. What's the date? April 24th, 2021. So you were like 9? No, you were like,
about 9 or 10.
Yeah, 8 or 9, yeah. And did you learn drums just by ear, or did you take lessons? Do you take lessons? Is it a combination of both? What's your story, man?
My dad used to play drums in the church, and I used to come with my dad. I used to go with my dad when he used to clean the church in the week. And while my dad's cleaning, I would like get behind the drum kit and try to play something. And then there was this one day where I got one of my dad's favorite grooves right, and I just went crazy. I didn't want to stop playing it. And from there, my mom and my dad started looking more into me having an interest in playing drums. And then my dad started giving me videos of Eric Moore, Tony Royster Jr., basically all of the top drummers. And I learned from there, and then I basically like took some of their stuff, but then turn it into my own, and then basically make it sound unique. And
That's
then
great.
from there, I basically just continued watching the videos and basically getting more inspired by them, and just starting to build my own make example fill that Eric Moore does. I would watch a video and that one fill would catch my ear, and then when I move to another video and watch make example a video of like Dennis Chambers, like one of his solos. So that one syncopation that happens like between his feet, that one thing would catch my ear, and I'd basically mix the two with something that I would like to put in, and then basically turn that into a unique fill.
That's great. You know, when I watched the video of your winning entry, besides the odd timing and just being really good with rudiments and groove and being a musical drummer, I think the thing that gets me the most is seeing how fluid your playing is. How often do you practice, and do you practice only on the drum set, or do you also practice just on the pad? What's your routine like?
I practice an hour every day. I usually start off with my drum pad. Then I would take like those like banners, those small banners with the two with those two with one piece of wood on top and another piece at the bottom.
Yeah,
Me and my dad came up with this idea to take those two out and then practice singles and basically playing 30-second notes with both of my hands and then switching to 16th notes with one of my with each hand individually. So then I usually start off with that, and then I would move on to playing with normal 7A sticks, doing the same routine with those, and then I would usually move on to at the moment I am studying from the Hudson Music Brazilian Grooves book.
ooh,
Then I'll
nice.
move on to that. Then I'll
Great.
move on to that. Learn a lot of independence in there. That book is amazing. Um, then from there, go back and then start doing singles with my feet, and basically then I'm done for the day.
That's great. Wow, those are some great exercises. And do you ever just turn on like a CD, or maybe you're too young to know what a CD is? I'm older, so I'm thinking CDs and records and things like that. But do you ever put on your favorite music by artists and play to that?
Yes, I do that.
And
A
when you
lot of
do that,
times,
oh, go ahead.
um, usually I would do that like when it's close to bedtime, when I'm done with everything. So then I'd usually like get my laptop out, go to the sitting room and play my electronic drum kit and just play to some of my favorite music and just enjoy myself with that. So yeah,
That's great. It's very important to remember why we all started playing music to begin with. It's to have fun. And I think a lot of musicians sometimes forget that. They get so wrapped up in the academia and the science of music and playing, and that sometimes they forget to just have fun. Last night it was about maybe 12:30 in the morning, my time here in Arizona, and I just felt like playing. I hadn't played other than about an hour the other day. I hadn't played in 2 weeks because I went away on vacation, and I just hadn't played, and I just felt like playing. So 12:30 at night, I went down into my studio and fired up some of my favorite music, some stuff I haven't played in a while, and just had fun. And that's always got to be the number one reason that we play. I think when we play for fun, we will always play at our best, you know?
that's true. That's very true.
Yeah, it doesn't mean that it's not challenging, but it needs to make us feel good because it does come out
Hmm.
in our playing. What are some things that you could recommend to young kids and to their parents for the young kids that maybe want to play an instrument and maybe the parents aren't sure if their kids are ready yet because they're 5, 6, 8, 10? What advice do you have for the fellow kids and for their parents?
When it comes to wanting to do something at a young age or any age for that matter, there's basically no giving up if that person has a passion for it. So for kids who are willing to, make example, start playing drums, if they start at a young age just playing on pots and pans like I started, they shouldn't give up. The parents should actually look more into that and try to get as much as exposure for the child. So basically, like get some videos for the child to watch. Find some interesting things that the child can do, and when it comes to drumming, and then basically just let the child have fun. Sometimes there's times where the parents have to push the children, and there's sometimes where the children just go, then the parents just need to sit back. So when it comes to wanting to do something, it has to be a passion. It should be a passion if you are really willing to do it, and just get the child exposed to the proper content, and basically the child can take it from there and basically just turn into this huge drummer, and basically just most importantly enjoy themselves, and yeah.
That's great. You have a keyboard there. Do you also play piano?
I am busy learning music theory at the moment. So I love producing music. I produce my own shred tracks, my own EDM tracks and hip hop tracks. So in order to do that, I'm busy learning theory, and I'm enjoying it a lot because I'm actually learning how to become not only a drummer but a full musician.
That's very important. My friend Ian Pace, the drummer for Deep Purple, tells drummers to remember you're a musician first and a drummer second, even if someone only plays drums and percussion. So that's great. So you're learning things like scales, the circle of fifths, and different things like that?
Hmm.
That's great. I would love for you to send me some of the other tracks and things that you've done. That's just amazing.
Okay.
That's great. So why the drums out of all the other instruments in the world? We've got drums and percussion. You got piano and keyboards, which you're learning. There's guitar, there's bass, there's violin, there's saxophone, there's the tuba, there's the sitar. There's so many instruments on our planet. What is it about the drums that makes that your instrument of choice?
So when I listen to music, the first thing that actually catches my ear, that I would hear the most, is always the drums in the song. So at first, when I was 2 years old, my parents used to love listening to music. They would listen to music basically every day. Music was basically our family's spot. That was everything to our family. So when we used to listen to that music, the thing that I heard the most was always drums, and then I used to start taking pots and pans and my dad's screwdrivers and play on my mom's tables, and so yeah, I love music, and but but the thing that I love the most about the music is the drum parts in the music. So that's why I chose drums.
That's great. And do you have a favorite, if you had to pick one, do you have a favorite genre of music?
Um, at the moment, I'm not 100% sure, but I love fusion music. I love
Fusion.
fusion a lot.
And of course, that ties into one of the reasons you chose the piece by Tommy Igoe to play. That's great. Are there styles of music that you're interested in that you haven't learned yet, that you have on your list?
At the moment, I have jazz on my list. I have played jazz before, but I would like to study further into jazz and learn more about jazz and basically all of the spots about jazz, how to keep a jazz song just busy running smooth. Because when I listen to jazz, all I hear is just the band just busy relaxing and just having fun with it. Like there's no like specific parts that have to be perfect in there.
Right.
And that's what makes jazz fun to listen to. The band just like carries on playing it like smoothly, and so jazz is definitely on my list to learn.
That's great. It'll really add a lot to your toolbox and your drumming vocabulary as far as different techniques. It'll help you with dynamics, no matter how good you already are at dynamics. Jazz will help you with your dynamics, and it'll really help you grow your intuition of improvisational skills. Because like you said, jazz can just go on forever. There are certainly some structured pieces of music, but there's also a huge improvisational element to jazz, and it sounds like that's something that you would really enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So out of all the drummers that you have studied and that you listen to and that you've been exposed to, who are like your top 2 or 4 drummers?
My top drummers are, first of all, Eric Moore.
Eric Moore?
Then Tony Royce Jr.
Tony Royce Jr.
Dennis Chambers.
Dennis Chambers.
Dave Wackel.
Dave Wackel.
Um,
And let's remember Tommy Ico.
Yeah, Tommy Ico.
And
He's
Uncle Dan.
definitely on the list.
And Uncle Dan.
And Uncle Dan.
Have you ever been to a live show and sing? Other than church, have you ever been to like a performance or a concert?
I haven't exactly been at a concert, but I have been at Aaron Spears' drum clinic here in South Africa.
Oh, wow. Wow, that must have been great. Did you get to meet Aaron?
We got to take pictures with him, yes.
That's great. Was he nice? Because he's not a very nice guy. No, I'm kidding.
He was.
That's great. And what did you learn from that experience, watching Aaron?
I learned a lot about, like when playing with a band, how to play with a band, and how to pocket great with a band, and what not to do when it comes to a band, and basically how to play drums musically, and not just play drums, but play drums so that it actually sounds like a whole music piece.
Yeah. That's such an important point, Dominic, because playing drums musically, there's 2 things with that. One, it's subjective, meaning a drummer could play musically, but not everybody is going to perceive that person's playing as musical. It's like pizza or any other art or food. Not everybody likes it the same way. The other thing is that the term playing drums musically, it's sort of like an intangible concept. You can't hold it in your hand and say, this is musical drumming. You could play it and people could hear it and they may or may not perceive it as musical drumming, but it's almost hard to define. And I think that things that are difficult to define are therefore hard to learn. You are a musical drummer. What is it that you were told or that you understand about playing drums musically that enables you to do so? How would you explain what playing drums musically means? Is it knowing when to be flashy and when to hold back? Is it in the dynamics? Is it in the tuning? What is it?
To me, playing drums musically is mostly based around how you use different parts of the drum kit. So, make example, you get a drum solo, but then the drum solo is like based in certain parts. So the first part is usually like an introduction. So now instead of just coming in and then done again, instead of just coming like that and then just carrying on the whole drum solo like that. Playing it musically means you are talking between each drum part. So then basically, like take the notes that the bass guitarist is playing, and now you use that same phrase that he plays in there. Like maybe in the middle of the song or the main phrase of the song, you basically use that in the drum solo and build something out of that. That actually sounds like a conversation happening between each drum. So then basically from there, start building it up while keeping a groove actually. So that's one of the main points of playing drums, keeping a groove while doing something else. So now keeping that groove, you start building it up, and then you go from the intro, you go to the body of the story, and then you go to the ending where you basically end it off nice and big, and then you get back into it, then you get back into the song, and basically just carry on playing it musically by like improvising some parts. Like not just keeping one thing. Like for certain stuff you need to keep it one thing, but for certain stuff you need to like improvise something out. So then make it so I'm playing a beat. So something like that. Basically just keeping a nice like catchy rhythm to it.
Yeah, and then the whole thing blooms into what ends up truly being a composition.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You know what's funny? I must have misunderstood something. I thought that you were I thought you were 13. That's so funny. I thought you were 13, but you're obviously like 33, right? So let me ask you this: what do you want to do with your life? What do you want to be? I mean, you're very grown up, so excuse the term when I say, what do you want to be when you grow up? I mean, I'm still, well, I don't know if I'll ever grow up, but I know what I want to be when I get too close to that point. Do you want to be a professional drummer? Do you want to be an astronaut, a fireman? Do you want to have a ranch and take care of horses? Do you want to work? What do you want to do?
I would like to open up a shelter for the unfortunate and for people who are not very privileged and for people who don't have. I would also like to open up my own music company, my own music business. Basically, so like divided into parts. So then there's like a music shop, and then there's a music institution. So everyone who is willing to learn music, whether it's DJing, producing music, playing keyboard, playing drums, whatever it is that has to do with music, basically come and learn there. And then the other side, the music store is basically where you can explore all of the equipment of your dreams, where you can basically test out new drum equipment, all of the best music instruments, all of the best music equipment. And I would also like to study further on and finish school and study IT, because I love computers. I love everything that has to do with technology. I love playing games. So basically, I would like to become a developer. I would like to code, fix computers, build computers, and everything that has to do with IT.
That's great. That's such an important skill, but even more importantly, it's a beautiful, beautiful thing when you say you want to open a shelter for the less fortunate. That's really wonderful. I'm looking forward to seeing all that unfold. That's really nice. I have something that I'm going to send you, that I'm going to show you in a moment for your drumming. And it's probably going to take a while to get there. I don't even think you've gotten the shirt yet that I sent like 3 weeks ago. You know, sometimes things get stuck in customs for a bit, but hold on 1 second. It's just right over here on a shelf. 1 second. It's right over here. So I'm going to send you a very unique practice pad. Are you ready? Here it comes.
I'm ready.
It's 1.5 inches in diameter, and it mounts on a cymbal. In fact, I have one out of the package. Let me grab that real quick. I have the only gold one in existence, but it mounts on a cymbal stand. You can see it's threaded. It's only 1.5 inches. And a lot of people misunderstand this. It's called the Wicked Chops Practice Pad by a head. And a lot of people misunderstand it. They think that it's to learn to hit the center of your drum. But we all know that the center of the drum is where you get the least amount of tone. It's the deadest part. And maybe there's reasons to hit it. But when you can get your accuracy down to hit a target like this with real high strokes, paradiddles, buzz rolls, doubles, different things like that, when you learn, and you're a musical drummer, that's why I'm eager for you to get one of these, when you learn every little sound that your cymbal makes in all the different places, every little sound that your drum makes in all the different places, if you can hit this consistently, you can hit wherever you want to get any particular musical sound out of your drums and cymbals. So I'm going to send you this red one. I don't have a green one to match your walls, but is a red one okay?
Red is my favorite color, so
Oh!
it's perfect.
Perfect. That's great. Great. I'll mail this out this week, and like I said, with the distance, because you're all the way on a whole other continent, it'll take a little bit to get there, but I'll make sure that you get it, and then I'd love to see what you do with it, and I'd love to get your feedback on it as well. It's a wonderful, wonderful product. I think you'll have a lot of fun with it.
I will have a lot of fun.
Great. So I have what we call the Dominic McNabb Fun Fact Questions. This is a chance for people to really get to know you on a personal level. Now that we know your musical story, we've seen a video of you play, this will kind of get to know more about Dominic McNabb, the man. So, here we go. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. I want you to just kind of answer as quickly as you can with whatever comes to the top of your head first. Ready? Okay. What's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is Star Wars.
Ooh, my wife and I are huge Star Wars fans. What's your favorite episode?
At the moment, I'm not sure because all the episodes are basically my favorite.
Oh, great. Do you watch The Mandalorian?
At the moment, I haven't yet, but
You gotta check it out. You'll love it. You'll love it. You'll love it. What's your favorite TV show?
My favorite TV show has to be Spider-Man.
Ooh, great. What's your favorite thing to drink to stay hydrated when you're playing drums or, just being active? What's your favorite thing to drink?
Water.
Oh, I thought for sure you were going to say beer. Okay, what? Water's my favorite too. I got my water right here. That's almost all I drink. What is your favorite meal? What's your favorite dish, your favorite meal that you could have any time of day and it's your favorite?
Pasta.
Pasta. Any particular type with any particular type of sauce? Do you like a white sauce, red sauce, a meat sauce, no sauce?
I like to have it with some beef and tomato paste.
Great. Does your mother cook?
Yes, my mother cooks.
Does your father cook?
Yes, my father cooks.
Great. Do you cook?
I must still learn how to cook.
Good. I love cooking. It's very therapeutic. 20 years ago, a lot of people watching this might not know this. 20 years ago, I had a cooking show on TV, actually. And I was the on-camera chef. It was my show. I was the producer and the host. So I love cooking. I love eating. I should probably weigh 400 pounds, but magically I don't because I work it off playing the drums. Great. Next question. What is your favorite thing to do that has nothing to do with music?
Playing video games.
Ooh, what's your favorite video game?
Call of Duty.
Call of Duty? Oh, nice. And where in the world would you like to go that's first on your list where you've never been before? Other than my house, what's another place in the world, which we'll do someday, that you'd love to go to that would be at the top of your list where you've never been before, and why?
One day I would actually love to visit Puerto Rico
Oh,
because I love the place, I love the tradition. Basically, every time I see Puerto Rican artists, I always enjoy the music. So like Latin music, a lot of the samba stuff. So basically, that would be the first on my list to visit one day.
oh, wow, that's great. It is a beautiful culture, beautiful country, beautiful food, and definitely beautiful music. That's great. Well, Dominic, I appreciate you taking time out on your Saturday evening to spend some time with me and let people get to know you and talk about music and share your words of wisdom. I'm very excited for you to see how your drumming develops, how your compositions develop, your production, and just how you develop as a person. It's been really fun getting to know you. We, of course, will stay in touch. I'll send you the Wicked Chops practice pad. Let me know when you get it. And please send me more videos of you playing, and we'll share those on Drum Talk TV.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. Thank you. And thanks, everybody, for following Drum Talk TV and having fun with what we do. And thank you so much for joining myself and Dominic McNabb all the way from Victoria, South Africa, here on Drum Talk TV. We'll see you all again soon. Thanks, everybody.
Bye.